come from behind the rope. But how y'all doing? All right, I love the energy. Well, my name is Nicole Dixon. I gotta take this mask because I'm sorry. But we have an organization called Ruhlman Radio Foundation through the radio station because we believe in not only having business in our community, but also taking care of our community. And we do that through our foundation. So right now, for the last 2 years, we have been running voters registration education programs. And we had a program called Be the Change Vote. How many of y'all want to be changed? Raise your hand if you want to be the change, right? So guess how you do that? You do that by voting. All right? So I just want to tell y'all really quick something I get really passionate about. I really hope y'all feel me. In this last election, we had on the ballot the restoration of rights for people who had been convicted of felonies.
Yes.
Somewhere between 1.4 million and 1.6 million Floridians could not vote. The reason why I want to tell you this part is because people say voting don't matter, right? My question to you, if you believe that, is why disenfranchise 1.4 million to 1.6 million people if it don't matter? Okay, I'll say it again. Why disenfranchise? Why X out? Do not let 1.4 to 1.6 million people not vote if it don't matter? That's a real question. And out of that, 1 in 10 were, 6 in 10 were what? African Americans. So if our vote don't matter, why even waste your time making up laws to stop us? All right. So then 67% of Floridians said we believe that people should have the right to vote once they have completed their sentences. Once they have done their time or whatever, everything is done. Florida was 1 in 6 states, so that means 44 other states had already said once a person had committed a crime and completed their sentence, they could go back. Florida, 1 of 6, was only that was not allowing people to have their rights automatically restored. So again, why waste your time with the law if the vote does not matter, y'all? It doesn't matter what anybody do or anybody say. I'm not even telling you who to vote for, but exercise it. No matter what it takes, take the 5 minutes and do it. It is not going to kill you. So we have Be the Change Vote, and our newest campaign is Rep Your City. Y'all want to rep your city? Rep means register, educate, and participate in the voting process. You want to rep your hood? Rep your city at the booth.
Okay, in the building, we have the ladies from RWR Live 365. Check them out. You got Miss Sharia B right there on the left, my left. How you doing, Miss Sharia?
Hi.
Hey, and the one, the only Q, La. How you doing?
What's up?
And over there, turned up and lit already, Miss K. Nicole. How's it going?
Hello.
All right, good to have you ladies in the building. We are definitely going to get to this interview because I'm real excited. You guys got a relaunch going on. You've already been knee deep in the community for so long, and I just want to hear more and more about what you guys have going. So for the people, tell them a little bit more about what you used to be called and also a little bit about your origins.
So we launched in 2016 as Real Women Radio. So this is the logo right there. The 6 lady read the book. I was running an African American Chamber of Commerce, and at the time we did a women's conference. And at the time we did. Shari was on the board. I was the executive director. Q-La wasn't in the picture yet.
I wasn't born yet.
Not yet. She the baby of the group. And we brought in Biblical Fox, right, Sharia? Called it Women of Power. And then the second year we did Wendy McKell Robinson. Each time the ladies taught me a different lesson. So for example, I in particular was not interested in bringing Biblical Fox. Now I don't like her, but I'm more of an intellect. Like, you know, like I want to bring in Donna Brazile, somebody nobody knows about and cares about for real. And so lately I had one that was like Sharia. We just looking for that perfect mix. And so when Vivica came in, she told her story during the luncheon. And it, you know, you just got a chance to like not look at Vivica as a character, but look at Vivica as a person. And so that was that. And then Wendy Raquel Robinson, you know, she was just coming off of the role on The Game. She was called Tasha Mack. And so I kept wanting to call her Tasha Mack. And she said, no, baby, no, boo-boo. That's the character. Meaning that is not who I am, you know. And so she came in and she had a school of arts for young African-American women in her hometown. So I thought that was, and then she had a shirt called Twerk. But twerk meant something totally different. It was very empowering. Yeah, I can't either, but it was pretty cool. It was empowering. Basically, she was taking something that had a negative connotation and making it a positive one. And so what she taught me in particular, what they both taught me is that, well, it is so much that we don't know about Black women. Like, we only love these characters and we never get a chance to really love the woman that they are and hear about the positive things. So then I got the brainstorming, like, I'm gonna start a podcast with Black women. And it was gonna be called Black Women Radio. Yeah.
Nice,
and
nice.
Yeah, well, this was 2016, 2015, 2014, so Black women was not very popular still. We just became popular again. So Sharia was like, nah, come off of it a little bit, that's too much. So I replaced the Black with real. And then I wanted music, because when you think about music, you think about transformation in life. Any major events, what do you have? Yep. You have to have the music. So I didn't just want a podcast, I wanted to play the music. And then the last piece of it was, I wanted not just my story, because I'm a perspective person, so I wanted to hear other people's perspective. So DZ, I go to Sharia B. Sharia B, I want to start a radio station. What? Will you be my partner? Nah.
You didn't want to do it, Sharia?
Why did you say no, Sharia?
Actually, the reason why I said no, because I was a little settled. And my background is more so in events and planning and all that kind of stuff, decorating. So when she came to me about a radio station, like, who does that? Like, you know, really, I mean, no, that's not what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And so she like kept at me like, Sharia. And I'm like, and then the other thing was, I really did not know Nicole for that long.
Mm-hmm.
We had,
Yeah.
no, we wasn't doing Sheepreneur, but we were actually doing the chamber.
Yeah, okay.
So we met through the chamber, and I was a board member, and she twisted my arm to become a board member. That's what she does. She twists your arm and make you do what she wants you to do. So when she came to me, I was like, nope, because she already twisted my arm to do the chamber. There's a bunch of old people on there. Nope. So then she came to me, you know, after that transition, was like, hey, let's do a radio station. I was like, nope. That's nothing else. Because she does that all the time. You guys have to know, okay, Nicole. She does it, and you know, it's in her best interest, you know, to say, hey, I want to do this. So when she came, I thought about it. I don't know how many times you asked me, Nicole. I'm telling you, your arm. And so I finally was like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So here we are.
So let me tell you personally, and that's the first time I heard why she said no. You really are getting it.
Okay.
But personally, let me tell you why I wanted her, because I wanted to tell Black women's story, right? And Sharia is a little bit more mature, more seasoned than I was at the time, and probably still is now. But and then she is a writer. I mean, she has so many gifts. And again, she was one of these Black women I was looking at that the story wasn't being told, you know? So I saw that this is a perfect person to help us to launch and to be that person that tells that story, because this girl has done it all. She's had all kind of businesses. She's in ministry. She done raised her kids. I mean, she has done it all, and she was just like the perfect person, in my opinion, to say, Black Woman Radio, we needed you. We needed you. You had to be at the foundation because you are who we are. So it just made sense for me. So I had to twist the arm a little bit.
And I want to add to that because that was really why. Because when she came to me, she said, I want to tell Black women stories. Mm-hmm. And I love hearing Black women tell their stories because a lot of times, often we are left out telling our stories. And we go through a lot on a day-to-day basis. We as Black women wear so many hats. So to bring that to the forefront and to hear somebody else's story like what we're going through, I was like, hey, that's excellent. So hey, let's do this.
Yep, she was perfect fit, business.
So we've been rocking
I
it
see.
5 years now.
My yin to my yang.
And see, some of the best things in history happen when you have to twist somebody's arm to do it. Just a little motivation. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Okay, so when did Q La La get brought into the fold?
That's what we're gonna get. So we launched. We made the clarion call. We're gonna do a radio station, and just like I said, it was important for not just my story, not just for Shari's story, but when we changed it to Real Women Radio, we wanted everybody's story, particularly though African Americans. So it's like, okay, when you looked at mainstream media, that's where you got these stories that we're not telling those stories, unfortunately. I'm not saying nothing is against that, but we are, well, maybe it is something against it, but
it is.
We're not telling those stories. Yeah, we're not. You know, it's somebody, and also at the time when we launched, the only thing that was representing African American women in mainstream media was Atlanta Housewives. And so the thing about that was, it's not that hard to be somebody's friend. It's not that hard to get along. And this is not the best representation of all of us. And that's what happens with mainstream media. You get one thing and we only get one side of our story told. It's usually not enough.
I have to agree with you. Real Housewives and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me started. My wife watches it all the time. It's a horrible representation of Black women. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
But DZ, it's okay, no, because
it's entertainment.
If it's on and I'm watching TV, I will indulge. So don't get into it.
I'm a Nene Leakes fan. I can't talk. Hey.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if it's on, I will listen. Okay, so we put out the call, and let me tell you about God. God has had his hands on Real Women Radio the entire time. So a guy who had joined our organization, our team, he said, I know a young lady out of Fort Walton. So she texted, did you text me?
I texted her, I inboxed her, I left her voice messages. It took about 30 days. But when we did connect,
it was a connection. It was all damn Papa baby. She was in Chicago, me and Shari. I said, let me call this girl that such told me about in Fort Walton. No, you was in Chicago. Yes.
What you have to
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. You know her. Because she talked about how cold it was.
Yeah.
And we hooked up with Q La La, and it was like instant sisterhood. It was like instant. Like, you know, when you as a kid, you do get those instantaneous connections, and as an adult, they don't happen as often. But Q La La was like instant.
And DC, when we first started, we had almost about 14 shows.
Yeah.
Like, who really does that when they first start a radio station and put out 15 shows like that? You know, and I'm just grateful because Q La La, when she started, we had some other hosts that had came on that had shows. And guess what? I told Nicole, I said, you know what? We're going to go through a shaking. And we went through a shaking at a point at a certain time, which was okay. Because guess what? God knew who was going to stay here, and Q La La been here ever since.
So yeah.
I got in just in time for the lunch. The lunch weekend. And he was the first person I called. Some of y'all out there don't know that. He got my first start in radio with DJ Easy. He called me one day and he was like, I just noticed you on Facebook and I'm gonna do this radio show. And I'm like, radio? Yes, I do. Right? So we linked up and he taught me everything I knew about radio. And so as soon as I got the call and the okay, and yes, you got a show, and I called Easy, like, guess what? So he jumped right on the bandwagon. Yeah. And we called the show Doing the Most. Running down the street with my son, and I was like, I don't know what to call it. You know, I do this, I do that, promotion, parties, events, community, whatever name it. Doing the most. I be doing the most.
Perfect name.
But
Perfect
like
name.
she said, when Raquel, I'm
Yes.
Yes. He had a lot of meaning. So first of all, because I do the most, but I do the most in a positive way, and I wanted to highlight others doing the most in a positive way, whether it's community, entertainment, business, whatever. As long as it was positive, like I'll do some embarrassing things that's gonna give me some school supplies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we were all like-minded women doing the same things, and it was good to have a team. You know, I was so excited. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That is a real deal origin story right there. Y'all need to actually put like a documentary. I feel one day, you know, to tell the origin story of what, you know, is now RWR.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I am. I'll narrate it. I'm no Morgan Freeman, but I can do a pretty good job if you let me, you know. But,
oh my God, you are.
But tell me a little bit more about the entertainment
division. Morgan Freeman for RWR Live.
Yeah.
I can?
Yes.
I'm with it.
State Farm man.
Okay. I'm telling you, like, God is so amazing. So this guy had mistakenly sold us the wrong equipment, a $700 board, right? So we got the board, we launched, but it was wrong, it was bad. It's bad. Yes.
Like how bad?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
On internet radio, that wasn't AM.
You gotta love technical difficulties.
Yes, you gotta love. That's how you learn.
Oh yeah.
So we had the wrong equipment and we fixed it. We went back, got the right equipment, was able to take the $700 board. We needed a $200 or $300 board. Bought more mics, you know, we was able to kind of expand or whatever. Yeah. So we did that. So the first year was painful. And sometimes I have to ask y'all this. If you knew what you knew now, back then, not the good, but the good and the bad, would you have relaunched? Would you have done it again? Would you have told yourself to do it again?
Yeah. I probably would have.
I don't know.
It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. But it was still let me say this about Kane Nicole. Even with the launch, when we first launched this, she's always like really big. Everything is like big. You would think I would be the one because of the type of business that I was in, but she's like, we gonna do 3 days. No, we like, yeah. Like, do you know how much man? Part of it was the wrong field. So, you know, when we first launched and had our first meeting, everybody came together. Everything came together, and I tell you, we had one of the biggest launches in Pensacola. And I mean, Pensacola didn't know like where these girls coming from, you know. So I tell you, she always like thinks really big. I'm not saying that the rest of us don't think big, but sometimes we have to be in expectation. We are, we're there.
Temper your expectations. But every crew needs that big dream.
Yeah, that's why she is the baby. She's the brain. Like we've done that before. Like I was too, but I know now. Me and you, we've been there.
But like she said, I'm the baby. I'm the brains and the baby. Yeah. So you know the things that they have experienced. I come back now to Charlotte and said I should have listened to you 3 years ago. And I said, but don't worry now, friend. I got it. Now I don't need to tell. I got it. We're based out of Pensacola. So that first year, we was everywhere doing every freaking thing under the sun. If it was going down, Real Women Radio was there.
come again.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, because I want to go back to when we first started, one thing that Nicole made sure of that we did not do it from home. We were not like a homemade radio station.
Yeah.
So in your bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nothing's wrong with that.
you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
My first shirt was in the closet, but I had to see it.
But you know, to make us legit and real so that people would respect what we were doing and who we were,
Yeah.
we went into actual buildings. So we have a full equipped station. So that made us different from everybody else that were doing internet radio in Pensacola.
We definitely made sure it made a difference too.
It did.
I don't care what nobody says, it made a difference. I always say people have to be willing. I just feel sometimes people are not willing to invest in their dreams enough. Like I'm go big or go home. And so yeah, but we did radio, we did red carpets, we also launched our one of our signature events. The first time we launched it, we call it the Black Hair Expo.
Right.
It was very successful.
Very.
We were surprised ourselves. Yeah. It was crowded. People were like, this is nice. So we launched that year. And so we were spread thin. And so we that first year, so we was everywhere. We was doing everything. And then as we've gotten older and mature, we were now nailing down what we do, how we do it.
Party with a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Much more intentional.
Yeah, partner
With a purpose.
We partner with a lot of different, yeah,
That's a good way to
partner with a lot of different promoters and other businesses in the area as well.
So 2018, I'm gonna speed it up. 2018, we opened up a foundation. It is a 501c3 Real Women Radio Foundation, which we'll talk about later. But Q La La was doing the back to school time. We, as they said, just like to legitimize and
And we're gonna be doing it.
we're gonna do it. And then we started the foundation. Also in 2018 or 2019, I can't remember, we officially, me and Shari decided, we had a conversation, made Q La La a partner, a co-owner of our organization. Q La La has traveled down that road. So many nights. Yes. So many nights. Like, this has been our ride.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
And it all paid off, and now we're in the Fort Walton Beach location.
Yes, that's it. That's where we're at right now. This is exciting. And so now so DZ brings us 2020. So we had our new brand name, RWR Live 365.
What else you want to know?
He want to know what we doing now. So, because that was his question 20 minutes ago, but I had to So we changed the name. Why did we change the name? I'm just, getting ready for it. I am thinking about my words.
You good.
But for real, we changed. We really struggled with changing the name. We really struggled. But unfortunately, in the world that we live in, when you say Real Women Radio, people get it or they don't. And unfortunately, most people were not getting it. That's good.
That's good.
So most people were not getting it.
They thought it was just for women or women power or
passion men.
Yeah.
I love it.
And we actually had men shows.
Yeah.
we did.
Okay, I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I really have to ask about that. You guys actually had men that felt like it was like some man bashing stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's new to me. I'm a man and I never took it like that. Like ever. Like,
Progressive men.
I know, right?
Men were literally offended by our name, Real Women Radio.
you got some soft brothers out here, I'm just saying.
But let's not just talk about men, women. Like women, like I don't want to just listen to women, And so we decided we have been talking about it for years. And so I was just playing around with it. They kept saying no. So I was like, listen, if I can find a way to keep our heritage, which is Real Women Radio, but kind of expand it and things like that, which I'll be okay with. So we played around with it some more. But this time, these I came prepared. I came prepared with a logo.
And it looks good. It looks good.
Say the name.
I'm definitely digging it, loving the new vibe.
So the RWR is still heritage to where we started, Real Women Radio. And we call it RWR eternally the whole time.
Yeah.
And then the live 365 is we are not a podcast. Anything y'all want to add to that?
I'm just gonna say that to go back to the podcast, because so many people think that we have a podcast, and I would have to correct them. No, we have a radio station, internet radio station worldwide. We are not at home, okay?
Download the app.
Yes. So everybody will always say podcast, and we would have to correct them. So, and I was one of the biggest persons to say, no, we should not change it. Let's stay true to who we are. And Nicole was like, no, we got to change it. And it took us about 2 or 3 years. We was going back and forth. But once, I said, well, Nicole, why don't we just keep the RWR? Don't change the, let's just shorten it. And so now I was fine with the our RWR. Now let's roll. Yeah. Then with the live 365, that's what she hit us at, right? Yeah. We got a number now. Oh yeah. Everybody say 365. And 365 days a year.
And it's like no disrespect to podcasts, because we
No,
love podcasts. We want to partner with podcasts.
Yes,
We're gonna have some podcast shows, syndications on our show.
We treat our shows like podcasts.
Yeah.
Right? Once they go live, we treat them as podcasts. No disrespect.
Yeah, it's just different when you're working hard. Like you don't build a brick house and somebody come. It's just you know all this work.
Well, you have to change people's minds.
Yeah, it's just different.
They can't believe it. They can't believe it that we own a radio station. They can't believe
It's
it.
the way they say it.
Yeah.
It's a real radio station.
Yeah.
Y'all play music.
And then you say, another reason was like, they'll say, well, what frequency are you on? They don't use the word frequency.
They mean
just know.
FM, AM.
Yeah. And so, we're not AM, FM. Oh, we worldwide. What you mean, man? People in the Philippines can listen to us. Like people in Korea, Afghanistan, tune in to Real Women Radio. Like, come on. He was one of the first people who said, I think it was the same.
Well, I remember, I think maybe the first couple, no, it wasn't the first couple of shows. I think when we changed the different software that we was doing, I was able to see who actually was listening. And so when I would go in the morning, I could see that there were people from China that was listening.
Wow.
There were people in Germany that was listening, Asia, and I was like, oh my goodness. So that inspired me, a little bit more to go on, because I'm like, somebody is actually out there listening to us.
Yeah.
And I would say, hey, we got China listening to us, because everybody in the States, I want to let them know, hey, we're worldwide. I mean, we're global, so everybody's tuned into Real Women Radio.
For sure. One of our reviews on Google Play says the Philippines needs this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and somebody left a review for our app, our mobile app, and you can see, that somebody said that the Philippines needs this. So RWR Live is about, again, still being ahead of the 8 ball. It's about the internet portion. It's about being live and telling stories. We're adding blog pieces to our media company. We already had the Facebook Live, like you said, our #1 show. The Get Up Morning Show.
Sorry, being Uncle Curtis. Uncle
Curtis. They don't call me Uncle Curtis. They don't even call me that. They don't call me Curtis no more. We call him Uncle Curtis. We don't even call him his name no more. But the #1 morning show started Facebook Live, and man, they waiting on what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the live aspect. We're definitely launching with new shows. Hopefully we'll have just blunt. name drop, podcast on Real Women Radio.
That's a done deal. We already signed it.
Oh, we signed it.
Alright.
All we gotta do is ink it. That's all we gotta do is ink it. That's it.
And so, but you know, just be it right now at the time of our country, it's more important than ever to make sure that we are properly telling our story.
And you know what? Speaking of that, your mission. I want to know exactly from the horse's mouth what your mission is for RWR, and also how does that tie into the community, especially with everything that's going on right now.
Our mission is to empower, impact, and inspire. Yeah, inspire the world. That is our mission statement. And one of the most important way that we are doing it right now is through our foundation, Real Women Radio Foundation, which still has our original name. And we are currently running a voters registration program throughout Northwest Florida. So why is that important to us? We're 501c3, it's nonpartisan. Nonpartisan. And what that work is it's important because it is nonpartisan. Now we all have our own personal beliefs. You know, it might not be the same thing, might not be separate, but either way. But studies have shown when we approach it from a nonpartisan perspective, you are you get more people involved. You can make a greater impact when you're not imposing your personal opinion on people. So our voters registration program, Charlotte, the VR director, she can tell you more about it.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we first actually started the voters registration program, we started out about with 40-something campuses. So we actually started in Pensacola, Escambia County, and Okaloosa. So that was great for us to be able to employ other people. You know, that was something big for us to be able to help our community, to be able to employ other people. So we employed canvassers to get out there in the field and register people to vote, because that is something very big in our Black community. Because when I was in the field with some of the canvassers, it was like, why should I vote? You know, because our vote doesn't matter, our voice doesn't matter. So with us being out in the community, informing and educating and inspiring other people to vote, people got out there and started voting. And so now we've expanded. We have Escambia, Bay, Bay County,
Escambia, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, Walton. So we have over 5 counties that we're covering. And that's just what we're actively covering now. Charlotte, you have to tell people how much we pay.
We pay $15.
We start
An
at $15.
Start at $15 an hour.
Start at that.
And start at $15 an hour. Now, people need to listen to that. Listen, because we know that half of America is out of work right now. We know this.
Yes,
A lot of y'all sitting at the crib right now, and you can be doing something that's actually going to help your community and get paid for it.
Yep. That's right. We're getting ready to really ramp it up for the voter registration. And since COVID-19 has come upon us, we are, remote.
We reorganize.
Yeah, we have canvassers working from home. Hopefully we're going to get back in the fields because we are going to make our votes count in November.
No matter what.
So DZ, we want to tell you about our voters registration program. We got 2 parts. We have a partner program. So say like somebody like yourself who is an influencer, a community leader, one who could mobilize people, you have influence in your family. Most of us have a matriarch and people who have influence in our family. They just at the top of the chain. Just what it is, right? And so we have the Be the Change Vote Partner Program. Wristband. You got your wristband, DZ?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it on right now. I do apologize.
Okay. That's okay. And so those are people who want to help mobilize their family, their friends, their churches, organizations, people. Everybody can be a part of Be the Change Vote Partner programs. Basically, we have T-shirts that we'll give out. We have swag like this, we have mugs. I mean, we got it all, right? And those are our partners. And these people will be influential and helpful in helping us to get out the vote. Then the second part is more of our forward facing. And Kulala with her genius mind up here, she came up with an idea and said, "It came to your sleep." What is it
I
called?
was about to text you like,
Yeah, and I ain't see it.
it was Rep Your City. Rep meaning register, educate, and participate. So
Yes.
we don't just register people, we educate them on who they're voting, why you're voting, what they're talking about. We can do it from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
What nonpartisan means, what it means, you know, what the dates to vote, the cutoff dates to vote. Oh, it's backwards on here. We're trying to be creative.
I know. It's okay.
They
They did.
But yeah, it's Rep Your City. So now is no better time to push it now because everybody is repping the city instead of tearing up the city. Let's rep our city.
That's right.
Register, educate, and participate in a positive way. We need to add another P.
You see how God has had his hands on our organization. He has blessed us with found anonymous funders.
Yes, Lord.
But the rep, and then we're looking for people who want to mobilize. I don't know if you all got a chance. I didn't share with you all yet, but recently we're having an issue that we partner with ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, okay, so what's been very huge, I get so excited about this. So up until this last election, this 2018 election, between 1.4 million and 1.6 million people could not vote in the state of Florida, right? So my first question before I even go into who that is and what that is, if voting didn't matter, why disenfranchise so many people? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so out of those 1.4 to 1.6, 7 in 10 were African Americans, right? Okay, so they got a petition. And they did the petition and they got it on a ballot called the Fourth Amendment right, which basically said if you have completed your sentence, if you are convicted of a felony and you have completed your sentence, your voting rights will automatically be restored. But before we go there, Florida was 1 in 6 states that had not restored the rights of convicted felons. 1 in 6. So 44 other states had already said that once you completed your sentence, you can restore your rights. If voting doesn't matter, again, why disenfranchise people? Why do it? Okay, so Floridians went, and as long as 68% of the Floridians voted yes on the amendment, this is the second time it was on the ballot. First time it didn't go through.
That's right.
But yeah, so then the second time on the ballot, 68% said yes, 69% said yes, but 67.5% was all that was needed. Okay, said yes, we should give people their rights back once they have completed the sentence, omitting sexual offenders and violent crimes such as murder. Okay, they still will have to go to the clemency board. Now, before I go there, let me go back to the clemency board, because before there was the law was enacted, you had the clemency board. When Charlie Crist was in office, the clemency board met frequently, right? And I want you to put your own dots to this, because we nonpartisan. But when Rick Scott got in the office, the clemency board was already backed up. It still wasn't meeting enough under Charlie Crist. It was not. But when Rick Scott got in the office, it met once a year. Totally backed up there. Now let me tell you something else. When Jeb Bush was in office, he had a task force on returning citizens. And it was proven by this task force that when people have the right to vote, they feel more a part of society.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
They feel like this is our country.
Right.
This is facts. You can go back and find this. Anybody can go back and find this. This is facts, right? The government did it. The Florida governor had a task force of experts. All right. So 8 years, the clemency board is where it used to take a couple months. Now it's taking a couple years for people's rights to be restored. So we had to take it to the ballot. If voting don't matter,
That's right.
so then we got a new governor. Am I being good too?
You're being good.
Ron DeSantis.
That's right.
Ron DeSantis took to court what the people, 68% of the people had voted for to say give people their rights back. Ron DeSantis said, no, they need to pay their fines off first. Well, here's the problem, Ron. Can I call it Ron?
Yeah.
Okay. Ron, each county has its own system. Each part of the state has totally different systems. If 50 years ago I was convicted of felony, I didn't have my rights restored, but we know how the record keeper was back then. We know how it is now. Okay. You gotta go to 5 different people to get one else. Ron said, no, they gotta pay their fines first. So we've been in court again. No, the Floridians have voted. The people have spoken, sir. So what was interesting is, because I'm a little geek, so I listened to the hearing via telephone. Saddest day of my life, worst mistake I ever made. Because I sat on the phone and I listened in a court of law, because this was just like a courtroom, you know, via telephone, how people in the state of Florida, Republicans, white people, made laws so that African Americans couldn't vote. Now, you sat and listened how they strategically said, we did not want African Americans to vote. If it don't matter, why do it?
That's right.
So, we just got a ruling. No, people do not have to pay their fines. If you are a convicted felon, sign up to vote. So we had someone call us. Yeah, with our parties, with anybody, but we prefer, we would love to. Because it ain't just about registering to vote for us, right? We're not gonna just give you a piece of paper and say register to vote.
Yeah.
Because you still have high percentages of people not voting.
That's right.
So we need to be able to be in your ear, on your mind, as Nicole would twist your arm.
Register, educate, participate.
That's right. To rep your city. You want to rep your hood? Rep your city, man, about voting.
Okay. Vote.
Rep your country. Does it show us whether you want it or not?
Right.
Because our ancestors have died, blood, sweat, and tears. So I want mine.
That part.
So, you know, it's like we won that. Now let's get to work. People have been calling us. They really have. Leaving messages saying they want to help people. Returning citizens, because we're not gonna call it convicted felons.
Yeah.
That's right.
Returning citizens, people who are returning back to society to register to vote. They have made their mistakes. Now it's time to move on and be a part of this country in the civic engagement. And for the fool, they say voting don't matter. Let them come talk to me.
Please talk to us. She got a speaking engagement later today.
I am definitely going to start steering those people in your direction because I have quite a few friends that just they think I'm brainwashed. The fact that I'm so much of a believer in voting, but I've been voting since I was 18 years old. I've been into politics my whole life. I know how important it is, but I'm glad to be working with you guys so we can explain that importance to people and get them out there to the polls. But like you said, I mean, just when you take into consideration voter suppression, everything that's going on with police brutality right now, COVID-19, how does RWR Live like navigate through all this? How do you navigate as a company through this new frontier that we're in right now?
I believe we were already at the forefront. In 2014, 2015, 2016, we were saying we wanted to tell our stories because we knew the narrative that was being spoken for us was untrue. So what we do on a day-to-day basis, and to be frank with you, for free, because this is our baby. We in our 5th year. We might just now be seeing the fruit of our labor, but for the last couple of years, we've been doing this for free.
Yeah.
And you gotta love it if you're not getting paid from it.
Right. It's gotta be passion.
Yeah. So we're just doing what we love. You understand what I'm saying? because we couldn't have it no other way. Because if we believed that we wanted to march by somebody else's drum, we would be doing something else.
Yeah.
Because we ain't been getting paid.
And I think we thank God for our canvassers. When we went off the street, they still was ready to work.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to the canvassers.
Yes.
They got on
Our
those
team.
phones and they started calling people and asking what they needed for the COVID-19, whether it was employment, food, clothes, whatever. And we also made sure they were registered to vote. If they wasn't, we directed them to the website. If they needed anything. And we
Also, the
educated them.
census too.
Yeah, we
Make sure
educated them. They did the
counted.
census. Yeah, we talked
We
about being counted. You'll be surprised how many people on the phone were really interested. They thought we was gonna get a lot of hangups, but they were ready to talk, and they all were registered. Most of them were registered because they were ready for a change. And so it was just a beautiful thing. And our canvassers really get into these calls, and they really stay connected. And then we have people contact them and connect them with resources and food banks and stuff. So it's been good. It's been life changing.
Well, Sharia has some stories of some of our older canvassers. I really take my hat off to them because, I breathe technology. So it's nothing. But Sharia has helped, 70-year-olds, 70-year-old women
Connect to the internet for the first time.
do video.
Video
Yeah,
chats.
and they're getting the hang of doing the Google Hangouts at home. They love it.
Mhm.
They're learning how to maneuver on their laptops, but it's just us taking that time with them and going that extra mile.
And Sharia goes to extra mile, honey. She goes to the job.
Literally go to the house.
They know that to a certain point, don't ask me. Just let me take it over, fix it. Sharia goes to their house. She print out paperwork. I'm like, why you print it out? Let me read it on the screen. I don't even think she tell me no more. Like, they gotta learn how to read it on the screen. But I think that is admirable, and I think that is a very important part of our story, is that we're not just doing the front line stuff, but all that back line stuff. And the people that we employ, literally people like, we need a job. And we're like, let me see what we can find for you to do.
Yeah, literally.
But nobody tells those stories of Black businesses. Now, when you think about the Black business versus other businesses, you think about payroll taxes and things like that, but you ain't thinking about the crackheads that you keeping off the street,
Right.
or the people that you are stopping from breaking in people's homes because they're not completely broke.
Right.
You're not thinking about how you got to pay somebody to hang up the TV just so you could get them to give them some money. Nobody is telling those stories, So all of those things are important to us.
Before we close, I want to know, and we're going to start with Sharia. I want to know one thing about each one of you ladies that nobody else may know. Maybe it's a passion, something you like doing in your off time. If you want to, keep the crazy stuff off, I understand. But just one thing that you just love to do that people may not know.
You said one thing that someone
May not know
about me.
Uh-huh.
You like it.
So a lot of people don't know that I actually wanted to be a lawyer. I actually, when I was coming up at the age of 7, 8 years old, I started reading law books. And so from that point on, I thought that my career was actually going to be a lawyer. So a lot of people don't know that. And I love law, I'm a little laid back now. But when I was younger, I tell you, I could sit here and have a conversation with you and go back and forth and say, hey,
This girl
I
right
will
here.
persuade you that, look,
She's still
you
like
know,
that.
so,
She's still she can sell you your drawers.
yeah,
Well, I need you to have a talk with this 7-year-old I have over here, and maybe you can steer her in the right direction, because she's definitely a young lawyer. She argues everything. Q, next you. What is the one thing people may not know?
I don't know. I think everybody knows everything about me. I'm such an open book. I wanted to be a child psychiatrist.
I can see
When
that.
I was in school,
yeah.
and then I figured out how long you had to go to school, so I think, but I did early childhood education. I'm not sure people know that too. I don't know, y'all. Y'all know everything. Y'all know everything from a wig change to everything. What do y'all know that nobody knows? What y'all don't know, y'all ain't supposed to know now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some stuff is not for the podcast. We just gonna
I want to
keep
be a
that.
child psychiatrist and a photographer. I did have to know that, but that's it.
Okay, Kay, Nicole, what about you?
two things, because I do curse a lot, but I'm very spiritual.
At the same time.
Yeah, me and God got a really good relationship, and I'm actually, I read an article the other day about introvert, extrovert. So I'm really an introvert. Like I literally,
Could you tell?
I do have to have, but how can I soak up all the things because I love to read and think and meditate, and I'm always thinking. I'm really like, I think I'm kind of like borderline geekish, just a little bit.
That's okay. Let your geek flag fly, baby. I'm a geek too. Let it fly.
Yeah, and so I'm a geek, you know, things like that. Yeah, and I'm goofy. I love to laugh. Oh, and I'm very, like, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm very touchy feely and cute and Sharia. It's like, no. But when I love you, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh. And Sharia said, somebody said, is she gay? No. I'm a Valentine's baby. I love love.
She was born on Valentine's
I was
Day.
born on Valentine's Day.
And that's
Oh,
crazy.
man.
You was born on Valentine's, and then I was born on the first day of summer.
And I was born on Hanukkah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And that's good. I mean, that's a special thing, the special bond that y'all got right there. Many people may not know about, but think about it. 3 holidays. I mean, just a beautiful thing. Anything you ladies want to say in closing?
Well, we appreciate you, Dizzy. We look forward to, I want to tell you that I enjoy your Facebook page.
I ain't know shit. So we can go in here. He has no hold back for nobody.
So if you're not on his personal Facebook page, you better get with it.
I don't even know what to say about that. Thank you, because I get way more complaints about it than I get compliments. Thank you.
No.
He was kicking people off his page today. You know, like it.
418 in the last 3 days.
My last remark is, for real though, is that in this time right now, we're in a very bad time, right? So I believe that so what I have been doing, besides crying, because I have been crying, and then I do get consoled and enraged, and I almost like got the car and beat somebody up before my way here. But my kids were in the car, and I had to tell myself, don't do that. But she was looking at me crazy, like she wanted it. But I did kind of cuss her out, you know. I think that today, 2020, May 31st, we know what's going on in our country. Today is the anniversary of the burning of Black Wall Street. I do believe in karma. That's why I don't do a lot of messed up things to a lot of messed up people, because I do believe it does come back. But I want us to remember that each one of us have our way of fighting. You understand what I'm saying? So for us, we might can't be as opinionated right now, because we have people that we're employing, and we don't need to give anybody any excuses to take us out of the number as far as funding is concerned.
It's about us anymore.
Yeah. If we did, but everybody has to fight. Some people can't fight. We always must remember that. Everybody don't have the mental strength, so we should not talk about nobody. And then number 2 is, Black people are some of the most beautiful, creative people in the world. And I believe that with all my heart. And we just have to learn how to give each other grace. We have to learn how to forgive and give each other grace, and understand that all of us are not in the same predicament. And Trevor Noah had a very beautiful video. And he talked about how Black America does not have this contract, this society, these laws. It feels as though we're the only ones we gotta follow these laws and these contracts, but nobody has to follow them when it comes to us, in a nutshell. And he pretty much said what I believe before the riots, which was why you have Black on Black crime, which is why you have people selling drugs in the ghetto, is because we've been put in these bad predicaments. You know, one of the things like the video that went viral from Escambia County of the people at the cookout. When nobody's at the beach showing people who not Black, not social distancing, and we help spread that. So when I say we want to tell our stories, we do want to tell the good and the bad, but we want to be fair with you. And always remember to tell the good. We have enough people telling our bad story.
Right. Awesome. I just want to go publicly say thank you, Dizzy. He's like a brother to me. He's always been there, always had my back.
He's my cousin.
He's your cousin.
He's my cousin.
We are cousins.
That's all right. We all cousins.
brother.
Okay, since Roundtable Radio Days, whatever I ask, he got my back. If he can do it, he'll do it. He put me on pretty much. So thank you for that.
We put each other on. Q, quit saying that. We put each other on.
Okay.
Because there would have been no Roundtable Radio without Q Lala. Come on now.
Okay.
Well, thank you, DC, for putting her on.
I know, right? This is a series, so y'all look forward to seeing the other shows from Real Women Radio, RWR Live 365. All the shows will be on Just Blunt Podcast, so y'all stay tuned and keep them locked, subscribe, like, and comment.
Download that app.
Download Real Women, RWR Live 365 app.
That's right.
So,
And register to vote.
yes.
I actually don't have anything. I'm losing my voice, I guess.
I've been speaking on it.
I would say ditto to what Nicole had said, what Bob had said. And let's just love on each other.
Mhm.
Let's keep each other in prayer because we are the world. It's just not just one particular race, but as Nicole said, that we want to tell a positive story of our people. So, I mean, what's going on in today's world? I love what Kay Nicole said about different people fight different ways.
Right.
So that is what we have to understand as a people. I was watching a news report, I'm not going to say the news reporter name, on last night, where he was calling different people out because they were not coming forth to talk about what was going on in the different communities all over the world. And Nicole actually summed it up. We fight different ways. Some of us, we don't have to go out there and fist fight. Some of us don't have to go and burn buildings down. You know, some of us may be in our homes praying. Some of us may be, you know, encouraging somebody. So just remember that. That's right.
Dropping off water. You drop off water.
That's right. You know, but let's just remember, let's keep everybody in our in the United States, all over the world. I mean, we got a pandemic going on right now. You know, just not with this police brutality or this race that we have going on, this race fight right now. But everybody is suffering right now. So let's just love on each other because we are the world.
We are the world.
We are the children.
We are the children.
Hey, thank you, ladies, once again for coming through. RWR Live 365, making big moves, 2020, everything from the community to entertainment. You will see more from these ladies, and you'll hear more from the Just Blunt podcast on RWR Live 365. And make sure you check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe. Let's get it up. I'm trying to get a check off YouTube, people. Let's make this happen. Ladies,
Okay.
salute.